Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus unemployment claims and market opens. My name is Lee Goldstein, the trading director for 10 Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. Okie dokie. So let's get started. We're looking at unemployment claims this morning. And next week, I'm doing things very differently. We're not going to trade any rooms that are not winners. No more 50-50 reports.
US long bonds extending decline 30, yield rising 6 basis points to about 5.25%.
We would not be taking this trade room. This is an inconsistent report, and I'm not trading inconsistent reports going forward. Now, I did trade Walmart this morning. I'm glad I canceled the room. It was an inconsistent move. It went up and then down. It would have stopped everybody out. So I'm very happy that we didn't trade Walmart. Now, sometimes there's reports that have an opportunity to make money even though they're inconsistent. Those I'll trade. You know, a report that might return back to the mean, you know? What does it mean to go back to the mean? Basically, it means maybe it's trading poorly, but it has a history of trading well. Eventually, it goes back to trading well, returns to its mean. Anyway, we're in summer. The doldrums of summer, I might add. And these next couple of weeks are weeks you want to really trade less. You do want to trade less. That's the truth. Volume's getting lower. People take vacations this time of year. Today the market decided to sell off. It sold off after Walmart. Now, let's go and look at the DMM on this report. All right. I'm going to rant later, but I'm going to wait until people get here before I do my rant for today. I do have a rant. It's a good rant. It's a rant that I think 100% of everyone will agree with, which is unbelievable. To find a subject that everyone can agree on is pretty amazing, but I definitely found one. So I'm watching gold make new lows. I was looking at oil on the left.
SOX 600 index
Oil's up 287,
session low.
and we're in big trouble. There is a military expert whose whole life has been spent analyzing situations like what would happen if the U.S. bombed Iran, what would happen if the U.S. had a war with Iraq. He's a very, very smart person, very smart person. And we're in big trouble with Iran because they control the strait. And it's very, very a big problem. Yeah, Frank, that's the guy. You got it. Are the trades you have up? The market opens daily. John, what do you mean are the trades I have up? You mean right now? John, right now? I'm confused. What your question? Could you maybe rewrite that question? I'm not sure what you mean. Right now, we're looking at unemployment. When I say I'm not going to trade
S&P
inconsistent
500
reports,
index
I
features
like the
extended decline
opens.
session low of 0.5%.
I'm not talking about the opens. I'm talking about I want to be much pickier about our traditional reports. You know, like oil. I like trading the oil report, but I'm not sure it should be a room anymore because it's moving so poorly. John, I don't understand your question. I'm sorry. Could you repeat it? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, let me be clear about what we're doing right now. On the left, I've got, you probably should use MNQ. All right. I've only got one eval and it's in trouble. My eval's in trouble and I lost money on Walmart this morning. And I'm glad we did not have a room for Walmart. All right. NQ space 0926. The markets, Walmart was at 7. Ironically, the problem with Walmart is it went up first. We don't trade the NQ on Walmart. We've looked at it. Oh, John, we're not set up yet. We're not set up yet. I'm going to explain how I'm setting up right now. I am going to trade micro gold, so you could put up a micro gold chart, and I'll probably trade the NQ or the MNQ for this next report. We have an 8:30 news report, okay? We do have an 8:30. That's what we're doing right now.
Qatar strongly
Then we're going to stay in the room.
Gaza,
we'll trade our 9 a.m. gold volatility
also,
trades.
According to Arab
And
News,
then we'll trade our market opens and
and
natural gas. That's the plan for this
affiliated with
morning.
Saudi Arabia
All right.
cut off access to internet
I'll
and
go through
communication
everything.
services for the people of the province.
So, first things first, we have our unemployment claims. Philly Fed is trading today also.
That's in Mary
Philly Fed lately has been pretty positive. I've looked at the MNQ on Walmart. It did not have very consistent tradable moves that made it easy to trade. It's definitely moving more than the YM. Anyway, Walmart was a loser this morning for me. And we did not have the room because the history was not looking good. So I don't want to trade historically poor performers unless we have a thought that it's going to be a good trade. There are poor performers that I will trade because they have a really good history. But when something has a bad history and it's a poor performer, those are the ones I want to avoid. This unemployment, it's a poor performer with a bad history. So I'm not going to do this room anymore. That's what I mean. All right. The reason I like to do extra rooms is education. That's the reason the rooms are valuable. So I'll make sure we certainly have enough rooms. NQ, we did some extra research. We have a spike sheet. Let me pull it out. We did look at
North Korea's Kim
NQ
Yo-jong
and gold.
says South Korea's description of drills reduction is nothing but a lame excuse.
Frank, that's funny that you knew who I was talking about. All right, looking at the MNQ trap spike sheet. So just a reminder, what is a spike sheet? It shows each time there's an event, how much it moved. And that move could be over a few minutes because that's the way you look at a trap trade. It's not a breakout. This is not a breakout. It has very good reversals, usually. All right. So you could see our biggest spike was 74 ticks over the past 6 months. All right. Or even, it's even more important to understand the dates. It's when it trades alone. So it's not over 6 months, it's longer. When Thursday job reports trade with CPI, we don't calculate it. We don't look at it. That's not the same as when it trades alone. The spike sheet is
Austria's
made
Kim Yo-Young
when it
says President Lee's
essentially
comments
trades
showed South
alone,
Korea's uneasiness
or
and
Philly
impatience.
Fed, or small reports where unemployment is the main focus. So, but that's also why it's difficult to have a perfect setup. But our tiers are 60 and 80. That's what we're going to use on the MN or the NQ. All right, MNQ or NQ. So I'm going to right click. First, I'll put a reverse continue on the chart. And I'm trying to decide if I want to trade MNQ or NQ. That's what I'm trying to decide. I'm going to trade the NQ. See if I can save this eval. I'm either going to blow it up today or save it. That's really the reality. Probably should trade the MNQ. So NQ, my target's going to be 50 and my stop's going to be 50. If you trade MNQ on a reverse continue, I'd use 100 on my target and 100 on my stop. All right. Label it MNQ or NQ, whichever one you're trading, and choose the account you're trading in. Label it, of course, apply it. That's my reverse continue. I'm putting a magnet on also to watch for signals. My stop is 50. Everything else is default. Okay. Label it NQ magnet. Choose the account you're trading. And now we'll put our trap trade on. Double click trap trade. Here's the setup. I am trading on this report. The MNQ, NQ tested better than gold. All right. Our activation is 8:29:55. Always use your local time. The stop, it's a little big on the DMN. You can always shrink your stop. You can always increase it on a trap. I'm going to start with a 50 stop. That's usually plenty big. Plenty big. Tier 1 is 60. Tier 2 is 80. So what's our zone of safety? What does it mean? What is the zone of safety? So you're trading a report. Many reports, almost all the reports we look at, they spike. Many of them spike and reverse. Many of them spike, go the same way, and slowly reverse, right? So this is a report that tends to spike and reverse, so it's good for a trap trade. A trap trade is a report where we expect it to spike and reverse. The spike, the second tier, plus the stop is our zone of safety.
Says crypto will get market
So if
structure
we add the two
regardless of the
together,
bill.
tier 2 is 80,
Says that
stop
Clancy
is
Act, best
50,
path to crypto
130
regulation.
ticks.
And
If we
hope to
spike
finalize rules on
130
prediction
ticks or
markets soon.
less, we're not getting stopped out on the initial news release. And we get to usually manage the trade.
US stock
That's
index
what
is
we mean by
falling
the zone
further.
of safety.
S&P 500 futures
So,
down 0.5%, Nasdaq
the
100
trap
futures
trade.
down 0.8%, Dow
Position 1
futures
is a
down
1.
0.7%.
Position 2 is a 1. That means you have one contract, two contracts above and below the price, one contract, two positions above and below the price, with one contract on each. We're triggering our orders onto the chart at 829.55. Our stop is 50. Our orders, our tiers, our brackets, 60 and 80. We're going to label this trap NQ, and you can absolutely use MNQ. And I'm going to trade it in my eval, which as I said, I did lose on Walmart this morning, so I'm not positive. So that's my trap trade. I'm going to make sure my chart is on NQ. I was looking at oil. It's making new lows, which is worrisome. You know the deal. When we're not reversing, you worry that a trap trade will just move in one direction only. That's the risk of a trap that doesn't work. Now you can reduce your risk when a market looks the way this market looks by trading MNQ. And then, as I said, this is an inconsistent report with a history of poor behavior that probably going forward we won't trade anymore, to be honest. The new year for us starts after Labor Day. It's like a new year starts when the summer's over. Summer's like less volume, less standard responses to everything. Okay. I am going to trade with the NQ. I think the news is good. We'll get a move up and then it'll push back down because the trend is lower. If it just shoots straight down, I might blow up my eval, you know. But I'm well aware of the risk. Now we have a gold trap also, but I always put the same setups on all my charts. A reverse continue goes on every chart. Micro gold, 2 contracts, 1 position. First the scalp on the reverse continue with a 50 target and a 50 stop. Scroll down, label it MGC reverse continue. Choose the account you're trading. Okay. I'll trade micro gold in a funded account because I have to. I don't have any evals. I'm not saying I would trade this in a funded account, but I have a bunch of funded accounts. So I don't mind using some of them to trade the risky reports. So we have the reverse continue. I'll put my micro gold magnet on. The setup I use for my micro gold magnet. Position 1, I put 2 contracts. Default target
going down to we get the initial total claims data forecast 210k prior 209k
target 2 is
with a range of 215k.
Sorry, target 2 default is actually -3. If you have a position 2 contract, right now my position 2 is 0 because I'm just really modifying the number of contracts on my magnet, making 2 on position 1, and I'm just putting in a stop of 50. Remember, we use the magnet to look at signals. We trade it from the reverse continue setup. Yes, you can trade from the magnet software completely if you want to. And we're going to have a big class promotion, everything, when we release the new magnet, a 2-day event, probably probably next week. So after our Ninja webinar today, we'll start promoting our Labor Day event. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So our magnet is set up. Let me just tell you one more time how I'm setting it up. So new feature, instead of saying off, it's going to say high of day, low of day orders are off. So it's clear what off means. Off doesn't mean the software is off. No, I wasn't looking at the gold open because we have unemployment. It did work this morning. It did work this morning. The gold open's been working all week. I was not paying attention to the gold open today. because I'm trading unemployment. But next week, the gold opens had 3 days in a row where it's had interesting moves, to say the least. Chantal, what happened at 7 o'clock? All right, our magnet. Position 1 is a 2. Default target 1 is -3. Stop is 50. Everything else is default. Label it MGC magnet. Choose the account you're trading. All right. Apply it. Now we'll put our micro gold trap on, triggering at 8:29:55. Now our stop on micro gold is 30 at the moment. I probably would go to 40 or 50 on it. You can go to 40 or 50 on it if you want to. I'm going to go 40 on it. A little bit bigger stop because it's micros. Tier 1 is 40. Tier 2 is 70. So our zone of safety is 110 ticks. I don't think there's any possibility that we're going to go anywhere near that on this report. I don't think it's even remotely possible. But nothing would surprise me in these crazy markets. Trap GC is the label, and I'll choose the account I'm trading it on. Now, of course, I'm sorry I didn't trade the gold open. We're going to look at it in 1 second. One more time on the trap from the beginning. Double click the trap trade. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. That means your brackets have 1 contract in each position. We're triggering. We're putting our orders on the chart at 8:29:55. We're going to use a stop of 40. Tier 1 is 40. Tier 2 is 70. Choose the account you're trading in. Label the trade trap GC. Apply it. And if you're done with all your setups, okay. Make sure your chart trader is on the correct account. This morning I was half asleep when I was trading Walmart, and I didn't have my account on the right chart, and I didn't see my orders at the very beginning of the trade. Now we're going to turn everything on. First thing that gets turned on is our MNQ trap. Always turn on, enable the main trade first. And there's a reason for that, because the buttons that show up on the control panel, or the chart trader, I should say.
So
when we turn on Trap GC first, for that chart, whoops, that's the
TV as well.
fine. We can use that chart.
Claims forecast 210K.
Our main trade on that chart is the Trap GC, MGC, right?
Million prior was 1 spot.
And let's label it properly. It says Trap GC. I want to label everything properly. It should say Trap MGC.
Forecast 24.
So just apply it and OK. Now our label is correct, Trap MGC. So I turn on the main trade on that chart, and I make sure on the gold chart I can see the cancel outer tier button. That's if you only fill 1 order, 1 tier, and we need to get the extra order out of the way of the stop for moving the stop to safety. Then I turn my magnet on. Then I turn my reverse continue on. Okay. Had an excellent long signal and not a very good long signal.
So reminder with Feds Daily, she's not a voting member this year, but will be next year.
Let's go to our NQ chart. All right. Right click it. We're going to fix the label on our NQ magnet. It's an MNQ magnet. Okay. I mean trap. Wake up, bro. Wake up. Trap MN. No, trap NQ is right. Gold is micro, NQ is mini. Account 43, so we don't have to change anything on our NQ. you're going to turn on your main trade, trap NQ, that
We
gets
have
turned
posted
on
out the
first.
Bloomberg video
With a
also on
trap
YouTube
trade,
on the
you're
feed. Please
always
watch
looking
first
to make
daily.
sure your cancel outer tier button is at the top of the chart. Okay. Calvin, I canceled the room and it was a loser. I canceled it because it was a really lousy moving event. And we tried looking at NQ, NYM, and I didn't have good results on any of them. So for over a year. Last quarter, it only hit target one. Just hasn't been a good event. Gonna turn on. Look, if people would get up at 4:30 in the morning, I would get up at 4:30 in the morning. Langford traded NetEase this morning at 4:30 in the morning. If I thought a lot of people would bother with those times, I would do it. But most people, very few people used to come to our flash European trade rooms at 3:15 in the morning. When those trades were trading great, which they're not doing now, the flash manufacturing trades, the European versions especially, are not trading well, but they had a period where they were trading great. They were family money trades. We would get up at 3 in the morning, 2:30, 2:45. We'd have a trade room at 3 a.m. I'm willing to do a trade room any time of the day for a great event. If we can make money, I'm willing. But members don't attend those weird hour trades very, very well. We don't get good attendance while you're usually up. I don't sleep well, so most times I can manage to get up. But I have to say, last night I fell asleep and I missed Australia. Australia looked like it had a huge breakout last night. Not huge, and it's a trap, but it did not have a great reversal. Why are we not trading Australia jobs report? Because it hasn't been giving us money. And it's been hard to tell if it's a trap or a breakout. The last two have been what appears to be breakouts. Last night looked like a winning breakout. The month before looked like a bad liquidity breakout, which is a trap. Remember, a trap's a quick reversal. A whipsaw is exactly what you want on a
10
trap.
seconds.
So we're going to get our orders on both charts here.
Order submitted.
Spread them a little bit. It's not easy to manage two trap trades.
206k, 206k, low in the forecast of 210k, prior revised 212k,
Now,
and the original price of 209k.
it's moving down. I will not let it fill to the long side.
Order canceled.
Now, if we get our reversal, I'm going to cancel the outer tier,
Order canceled.
move my stop to safety because we're getting a reversal. If it goes down now and takes me out, it's an NQ. All right, it's $100 and something trade. The risk today is pushing down. The gold trade should be canceled right now.
Canadian iron PI
Cancel the gold trap. It's chopping around, and the first move was up. You don't want to let it fill in the different direction. Different direction. All right.
Order canceled.
Now, unfortunately, let's see where price goes.
We have posted out the Philly Fed Business Index.
I'm looking at the news. It's not bad news at all. Philly Fed is another monster report. Another monster report. Hang on. I'm listening to Rick and see what he says. So I was down 210, made about $1.50 on the trap. And you could see it's uneven. It went up. It filled us down, reversed a little bit, and now it's pushing down, which was the concern with the NQ. Very nice, Nitin. Nitin stayed in longer. And that's what I've been really not trading well, is staying in longer. particularly on my traps. So we'll stay in longer on our gold trap at 9 o'clock, at the 9 o'clock trade. Now, do you think gold is going to test the low here again? I'm
Also,
not
heads
going
up,
to go
Fed
to the
Stady
well
is
here.
currently
I
speaking
think it's
live now on
going
Bloomberg
to,
TV. Remember,
but
the
it
video is in
already
feed.
just did the magnet. The first test is the best test. Keep that in mind. The first test is the best test. Second tests are good. Third, fourth, fifth, not so good. Okay? Keep that in mind. Nice, John. Nice, John. Very good. I'm always happy when people don't do exactly what I do. Should never do exactly what I do. There's no reason to follow me exactly, right? The big thing to follow is tier size, stop size, time of entry.
So
Those are
remember, I said Fed Stady
critical
not to vote in
pieces
this
of
year, but will be next
information
year.
that should be followed. What shouldn't be followed
Fed Stady
exactly
says rising bond
are
yields don't yet signal
targets,
for policy.
trade management. Trade management is extremely personal. You might
Also
not
says rising
care
long-term yields
if
is a
you have a
global
winner
issue,
that
and
turns
bonds
into a
signal for
loser
Fed.
because you may want to leave things exactly as set up to see if it works exactly as set up. I've had members quit because we manage the trade and don't usually do it exactly as
Fed
the
Stady
setup.
says I don't see Fed
I
creating a
manage
tail
most
risk.
trades, and maybe I shouldn't. Now, is this going to be a morning where everything I notice and don't trade is going to be a winner? Like, let's see if this second test hits the low. Now, we need two gold charts, right? We need two gold charts. I'm going to start with a new video here. So unemployment, a winner on the MNQ NQ. All right, MNQ NQ. I think we have a good setup going forward. Now that makes me want to trade the report. If now all of a sudden we have a good
Market
setup,
Technology say they plan over $250
that's giving
billion
us an
in US
opportunity for
investment to
profit.
create
Then
over
I'm willing to
90,000
trade it,
jobs.
even if it's got
Fed
a bad
Stady says
history.
short-term
We
yields
may
and
have found
markets
ourselves a
understand
good
Fed's
setup.
reaction function.
So that's awesome, right?
Fed Stady says the Fed policy is in a good place, and I'm watching the markets. Fed Stady says I don't see evidence calling for preemptive
Hang on.
rate hikes.
We don't need that news right now. I canceled the gold trap. I canceled the gold trap. It didn't fill quickly enough for me, so that's fine. So get rid of your trap trade,
Stady
erase it,
says modal outlook
right click.
expects inflation shocks will dissipate.
I'll tell you what, leave the trap on gold. We're gonna use the trap on gold. Trap NQ you can remove. We don't need two trap setups. Our left chart, we're gonna go back to micro gold. MGC 1226. Now, I'm not loving the breakout at all on this report. All right, we have not been making money on the breakout on this report, the 9 a.m. gold volatility. Does it mean we give up on it? No, we're trading it
Fed Stady says I was
in
very
a not very
supportive
important
of Fed's
account.
July
So
interest rate
that's the
hike.
way to deal with it.
US 30-year
We're going to
treasuries
keep
raising
testing,
gains from
keep
buyback
checking.
announcement.
I
From
think
yesterday.
we're dealing possibly with
Stady
summer
says I'm aware of
doldrums a little
compounded
bit,
effect of multiple inflation
war
shocks.
volatility the last 10 days. Today, I think we have a
Fed Stady says
better
recent jobs and
opportunity for
inflation
the
data have
breakout
not
to
changed
work
the outlook so far.
because the market, even though it's down a lot, it's not as volatile. as it has been the last couple of days. I know that's hard to believe, but
Its
it's
daily
at
says
this
I'm looking
exact
for
moment.
signs of more worrying inflation,
Gold
but I'm not
looks
seeing that.
manageable to me. Now, just curiosity, we did not trade the gold open. I would say we could have traded, honestly, unemployment Thursday, I would, if gold open is trading well, now we didn't take that signal. If gold open is trading well in general, right? If it's trading well in general, I would trade the gold open when it's trading with unemployment. I would not trade it when the jobs report, CPI, PPI,
But its
maybe
daily
not
says
even
I don't
retail
see the
sales.
job
Those are
market
the ones I would
contributing to
avoid.
inflation right now.
All right. Thursday jobless claims, I'd probably trade the gold open if the gold open were performing well. This week, all of a sudden, the gold open looks interesting. Are you going to get rich on it? Today, it would have been a great trade. It never really challenged your stop. If you look, well, no, let's take that back. I was looking at 825. Looking at 820, it went down 47 ticks. We would have had a 20 bracket. So let's say there would have been 15 ticks available. But then it probably would have stopped you out 4 minutes, 3 minutes later on the move up. That would have been very close to your entry. Okay. So maybe you would have made it still, it would have been a profitable trade. It could have been, let's say that. It looks like, without doing a replay test, it looks like it was decent. Hey, good morning, Ken. Kenny. All right, let's set up our gold breakout. Micro gold on the left. We're going to put our account number before our label on one of the charts. If you're trading the same instrument on two charts, you need to make sure that you're not going to confuse yourself with MNQ reverse continue on two different charts, right? We're trading MGC, so you don't want MGC magnet twice. One of them is going to be the account number and then MGC. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to turn our NQ setups into micro gold setups for our breakout. So we have a reverse continue we already had on the chart for the MNQ. And
Its daily says early
MQ, the
days to
setup,
discuss
same.
treasury issuance
50 on our
patterns.
target, 50 on our stop. I am going to add a second contract though for my scalp. 50
And
target,
as that the
50
Fed will find a
stop.
way to achieve its policy
Label it
goals.
MGC reverse continue. And since the breakout's been trading so poorly, I'll trade the breakout in my eval. All right, and I'll apply it. Now we're not at the breakout yet. I'm just saying I'm choosing the account for my micro gold breakout short. Micro gold magnet. Remember what we said? If you all of a sudden you highlight the magnet or you highlight any strategy and you can't see the items to edit, they're all grayed out. It's because your strategy is enabled on the control center. Inside the strategy, there's a button. The enabled button. Same button that's on the control panel. So you can uncheck it, apply it, and now you get control back. So we can now go back to our magnet. Couple of contracts, one position. Everything else default except the stop. The stop's going to be 50 for micro gold. We're going to label it MGC magnet. And remember, our breakout is going to be on this chart, eval. So we said we're going to label on this chart with the name, the number of the
Its daily
account.
says
So
the Fed will stick to its job
43
regardless of
MGC magnet is our label.
treasury
Apply
action.
it. Let's update our reverse continue label. 43 MGC reverse
Daily adding the Fed
continue.
has
Apply
the
it.
Fed really has to
Now
focus
we
on
got our
achieving its inflation target.
breakout trade. Click News Trader. Scroll up. Make sure your trade type says breakout trade. I'm going to load my 9 a.m. template, gold 9 a.m. Gold 9 a.m. LG. Right click it. We're going to rename it with today's date. Today's the 20th. And load it. And our breakout is going to be at 8:59:55. 8:59:55. That's our trigger time. I'm going to set that time to 0 for a moment because we'll check our bracket. The bracket's 12. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 20. Target 2 is 35. Our target 1 stop move is BE for break even. Let's get it. BE for break even, and our stop loss is 30. Scroll down. 43. On the breakout, we don't really have to put the number, but let's be consistent. All the strategies for the gold chart are going to have 43 in the label name. 43 MGC breakout, 9 a.m. That's my label. Leaving it on sim, apply. Okay, I'm done with the setups for a minute. Chart trader on sim. Move it, spread the chart a little bit. And when I turn on my breakout, and I know which event to turn on because I've labeled it, so I don't turn on the wrong trade and accidentally maybe enter the market when I don't want to.
Order submitted. Order
See?
canceled.
You gotta make
The
sure
daily says
you
job
turn
market
things
is showing
on right. Now,
uncomfortable stability,
that told me
and I don't
something
see
about my
signs job
setup
market
on
is
the
faltering.
trap. Let's check something on our MGC chart here. Right click. Oh, you know what? We didn't really edit this chart yet, so let's hold off getting distracted. Back to our breakout. We're testing our 9 a.m. breakout. Let's make sure we turn the right one on.
Order submitted.
There's our brackets. They're a little tight, so I would move my chart a little bit. That's what I mean by tight.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
All right, so we're ready now for our 9 a.m. breakout. Back to strategies. Highlight the breakout. Put the time back to the correct time. 8:59:55. And one more time to set up the 12 bracket. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, 20 for target 1, 35 for target 2. Stop is 30, and our target 1 stop move is BE, break even. Scroll down, we have our label 43 MGC breakout, and we're trading our breakout in our eval.
Fed's daily says I'm not seeing broad inflation
Apply it,
spillover from AI
and
build
okay.
out.
Turn your
Demands
chart
easy,
trader
says on X, any
onto the
miscalculation
account you're
affecting the
trading,
state will have even more severe consequences for you
and
than
now
before
we're ready,
in relation
right?
to
You
speaking
can
to the
turn
US.
on the main trade, which is our breakout 9 a.m. That's our main trade. We turn that on first. Why? So our adjust button is closest to the price. That's the real reason I turn on my main trade first. I always want my adjust button available. It's not usually used, mostly in earnings, but that's just the rule. If you put an order, a bracket on, and you know the news is going to be delayed, and you're almost at a fill, you could adjust the brackets, reset them to what they are set at in the
Fed's daily
software.
says we're still in a good
Sometimes
place to watch
in
the
that
data.
brief amount of time that you're enabling a trade, there's price movement because the market's so volatile. Well, the adjust button will recenter your brackets if they're on the chart. Our second setup is our magnet. And our third setup is our reverse continue. All right,
Fed's
get
daily
the
says
clock
2
out of the way.
software prints didn't clear up inflation picture.
And now we have our second MGC. Look at these amazing signals we had this morning. I'm going to turn on the new audio alerts in the magnet strategy. Audio alerts. Under alerts. ARS alerts. I can't turn them on. Why? It's grayed out because my magnet strategy is turned on. Click the enable button.
Fed's
Click
daily says the
apply.
Fed is missing its
Now I
inflation
can
goal by quite
adjust
a
my
bit.
setups. Where's my alerts? Turn them on for that chart. Apply it. All right, let's check our setups.
Daily adds the labor market is stable,
Our
but my
MGC
intention is on
magnet.
inflation.
We have a 50 stop. That's correct. Okay. -3. Target 1 is default. Number of contracts, 2, 1 position. That's my scalp.
And that concludes Fed's daily's comments on Bloomberg
You can
TV.
also scalp inside the magnet software with the buttons. As a reminder, since we have plenty of time, notice all the buttons on the control panel. The reverse continue long button and the reverse continue short button is a replacement for the instant long, instant short. It's the same trade, but you can set it up inside the magnet. So you have a section reverse continue. Maybe you want a different setup. You could have 2 scalps. Maybe you want a 2 position scalp, right? Target 1, your stop is still what your stop would be, probably 50 with micro gold. But maybe target 1 is 20 and target 2 is 40. Also, you can really control your trade. You have target 1 stop move, you could trail, all sorts of features. And then you can also program the ARS signal management. ARS enter now, that's a button that activates when you get a signal and it stays active for a couple of seconds. Knitting, the new software will be available when we have our event. I didn't schedule the event yet. Hopefully next week. That's the plan. All right. That's the plan. I just got the new final version. I installed it yesterday, and it's looking real good. I haven't run into anything. So what I was saying is you have a signal enter button, ARS enter now. It stays active for a couple of seconds after you get a signal. It's no different than using instant long or instant short using the reverse continue, but this gives you multiple setups you could create. And if you're only a magnet member, there are members that only have magnet software. They're not missing one of the most important setups, which is the reverse continuation, right? You wouldn't want to be trading with us and not have that ability to do a reverse continuation. So we made it a part of the magnet. So ARS enter now programming, it's a simple 2 position trade. Position 1, the target. Position 2, the target and the stop. All right. So if you want a 1 position, 50 target, position 2 is a 0. That's how you do it. It's easy. Then we have our label for our magnet, MGC magnet. Choose the account you're trading. All right. And now we're going to program our trap for the gold magnet for the 9 o'clock trade. I'm going to load my template. Double click trap trade. Look at this market. Wow. Market's just up, up, up and away now. It was down, down and away. Now, keep in mind my charts are spread wide apart. They're looks more volatile than it is, but still, there's been quite a bit of move. Quite a bit. It's very volatile. I'm going to load my 9 a.m. gold trap trade. Gold 9 a.m. trap. Right click it, rename it today. Load it. Now, our trap. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. That just means how many contracts are you trading for each order, each tier, each bracket. We're going to trigger at 8:59.55, and our stop is 40. 35 on tier 1, 60 on tier 2. We choose our account, and we're labeled Trap MGC. Apply it, okay it. Make sure your chart trader is on that account. All right. Turn on the trap first. That's our main trade. So everything else should be turned off. All right. 43s are the left chart. MGC, trap MGC, MGC reverse, those are our right charts. So we're going to turn our trap on first and make sure we can see our cancel outer tier button. I see it. Okay. Then I'll turn on my magnet, MGC magnet. Wow. And we'll turn on a reverse continue. I'm crying in a corner about not taking the signal trade. I'm turning off my magnet. Well, yeah, I'm going to leave things the way they are for the moment. I don't see, you know what? The Fed's daily is speaking. That could be what's causing this. I mean, he said nothing is highlighted as being dramatic, but he did say something. The Fed is missing its inflation goal by quite a bit. That's a pretty serious statement. So that could be one of the things he said. Now, I'm not shrinking my chart because remember we have a breakout bracket that we tested, right? In other words, where the breakout appears for management.
Agreeing
So
Canadian
I'm
negotiators to meet at
not
12:15 p.m.
shrinking my
Eastern Time
chart.
today in Washington.
I don't want to change the bracket, okay? The width of the bracket. This signal would have been, and I don't like to play woulda, shoulda, coulda. You would have not entered until your second candle was the same color, okay? So let's say you entered in the middle somewhere of your second candle. I think that's reasonable. What really might have been reasonable is to enter if you broke the PP and stayed above it, okay? So this is a reasonable entry. And how many ticks did it move? 145. If you were trading full-size gold on that chart, you could be done for the week or the day, certainly. I have my filtering on the least aggressive, meaning more signals than not.
Turkey's Fidan
If I
holds par with
filter at a higher
Egyptian and
level,
Saudi counterparts.
we still get the same filter, same signal. It's a great signal. It's just, why is it a great signal? It just followed the rules beautifully. How did it follow the rules beautifully? One of our rules is we test the low. So if you look at your magnet, right, if you look at your setup,
There's Turkey's
inside
finance,
the
the Fidan,
setup, you
also
have the
saying
ability
that
to turn
Turkey and
off
Saudi
or
have
on
called covered Gaza, Syria, and Strait of Hormuz.
what generates signals, VWAP or high of day, low of day. We don't generate signals anywhere else. Do you think we should generate signals somewhere else? If you do, if you think we should generate signals somewhere else, we don't have to pay our programmer to do it. Just turn on ARS standalone, and it will do momentum signals. Momentum signals. Filter it to 2 for the safest signals. Not the safest, for safer signals than 1. I believe this signal will disappear. Let me see if I'm right. Yep. Sometimes what I like to do is, lately I've been doing a lot of filtering on 2. A lot of filtering on 2. If I'm using ARS standalone, I'd probably initially set my filtering to 1 and then just look real carefully. You've got to be use more analysis if you're going to use ARS standalone, because it generates a lot of signals. It's definitely going to generate extra signals that you wouldn't normally get because it's basing the signal strictly on momentum. There's some other things, but it's more momentum based than anything else. All right. Now, right now, I've got my high of day, low of days orders off. We're going to trade the breakout here in our eval, the trap in a funded account, so I'll pay closer attention to the trap. All right. You can't be hearing the news, Calvin. I changed my headset today. We tested before you got here. Everybody said they couldn't hear it. How is it
Fed funds
compared
rate
to
at
normal?
3.63%, unchanged August 19th.
Because if you're telling me this headset's no good, then I gotta find another headset. Right, you hear it less. How's that? How's that? If that's a reasonable compromise, it can't be the same. It's not possible. It's not possible. I turned it down. Just a low mumble. Okay, I'm getting ready for a rant after this trade. After this
Order
trade,
submitted.
here's our breakout. Look at gold just sitting.
Order
Just sitting.
submitted.
Now,
Order
the
filled.
breakout's a
Order
disaster.
canceled.
That's the truth. It just doesn't work. It hasn't worked all week. Not with a tiny bracket. Now, the trap, we need a pullback, right? We got filled 1 order. I think it's going to go and fill our 2nd order, all right? I would expand my stop 10 ticks or so if I need it, okay? If we need it.
Order filled.
If we get stuck just in a gold burst up, we're just going to be out of luck. There's not going to be much you can do about that. Really, we should be above the VWAP. That's where the stop should be. It's a big stop. That's where it should be. I'd like to see a change in direction. We may not get it. Our bracket clearly is too small for the breakout. It doesn't work. And I am going to chuck it and recalibrate the breakout. We need a bigger bracket. Now this is just a volatility trade. That's all we're trading here. I'm moving my first order just up to the bottom of that candle. I'd be happy if we get a reversal at all. Gold just has all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? All of the behavior of an instrument that's not going to pull back. That's what it looks like. We've got momentum going up. It's been bullish since it made a new low. So we need a little bit of
Treasury
luck.
proposes eligible
We need a
investments
little
for
bit
fund
of
accounts.
market cooperation. That's what we need. On the breakout, definitely going to go to Nitin. What did you use on your brackets? Did you go back to your 30? I think you were using a 30. Did you trade the breakout with a bigger bracket? How'd it work? Now, while we're watching this trade, I'm going to bring my RTY chart back on. Where are you, RTY? There it is. I was watching silver. Still in the breakout. Okay. So I don't want you to lose, but I want you to lose because I'm assuming you're long. And I need short to work. I need short to work. I'm hoping you hit your first target. Did
Anthropic's
you?
joint venture owed by its AI consultancy
RTY.
Casper Studios content information.
I'm going to program my 3 setups right now to the RTY open. Right click, strategies, news trader, reverse continue, turn the breakout to reverse continue. Position 1 is a 1. Target 1 is 35. Stop is 35. Label it. RTY reverse continue. And choose the account you're trading in. Apply it. Okay it. Because I'm watching. I want to see if I can get out of my gold trap with a tiny bit of profit. I'm not willing, I don't think, to stay in this trap trade much longer. If I am, here's what I would do. If it breaks my highs here, I'm out. Okay? If it breaks my highs, I'm out. I'm not going to trade it all the way up to the VWAP. My RTY magnet, click strategies, click magnet. Stop is 40. Everything else is going to stay default. Label it RTY magnet. Choose the account you're trading it on. Apply it and OK it. Now, I want to move my stop to safety here. Did I miss my opportunity? I don't think so. I don't think so. My left chart is going to become MNQ. So remember all our 43s? They can be turned off. They were our breakouts. 43s are turned off. And don't remove them yet. Change the chart to MNQ 0926. Now, I will move my target up. Darn it. I wanted to take my first target. This is a funded account. All right. I want my first target if I can get it. If I can get it. At this point, we're 5 minutes in the trade. I don't want to lose on this trade, okay? I don't want to lose on this trade. So I'm just trying to get out with a profit here, and I'll move my stop to safety, or I'm just going to close this trade out by smashing the close button and getting out. I think, I'd like to
Seeing
think we're going to
Supermicro
hit
Order
this.
shares jumped
filled.
into
Okay, so
pre-market
now
high.
I'm going to trail my stop to safety.
So Supermarket
Now,
Computer says no evidence of
we're
previous financial
sitting good.
statements
We
cannot be
can't
relied upon.
lose now. Now I'll trail. I
And
think
they
this target's too
so
big. I think
Supermicro
under
board
that
adopts
big wick
recommendations to
is the
enhance
most we
export
can expect
compliance
if we
program.
continue to get price movement down. If price movement continues down, I'll trail. All right, so it's going down. If it breaks, you know what I do. If it breaks the wick, I'll be a schmick and I'll trail a few ticks. All right, if it breaks the wick, if it pops up, I'm going to exit with a profit. We've been in the trade for 5 minutes. Go down. Let me trail a little bit. It just barely touched the wick, really. All right. I think our target's just way too big. We have other fish to fry. Oh, I was going to go top of the wick, but it's choppy. It didn't give me the opportunity to go top of the
Order
wick.
canceled.
All right. So a small profit in a funded account on a trap that really looked like it might stop us out. Now that middle chart becomes YM. Turn off your setups. You don't have to remove your setups yet. Now, of course, it's going to go down 8 million ticks. YM 0926. All right. Don't do anything with the YM yet. I'm going to finish my third setup on the RTY. All right. Right now, I've got a magnet and a reverse continue. We're going to put our range trade on. Keeping in mind, the range trade, Click News Trader, is the main trade we take on the RTY Open. That's our main RTY Open trade. We also have a YM range trade. It's almost exactly the same. I'm going to load my template. RTY Open, somewhere in here. Right click, rename it today's date. Thanks to Langford for sharing this trade with us. We stole it, made it our own. All right, range start time in the middle here. Range start time, 9:25:00. 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. Label it RTY range. Make sure the account you're trading is the correct account. Then go all the way to the top, end the range. 9:30:00. I trade position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, target 1 is 10, target 2 is 20, stop 35, target 1 stop move is BE, break even. That's our setup. Apply it. Okay, now we have 3 setups on the RTY. They're all in a row. That's why I like doing them all together. Turn on your range. You can turn on your magnet. You can turn on your reverse continue. The range is what I trade. That's what we trade on the RTY. Going over to the MNQ, because we do have, yeah, the gold trap was amazing. Darn it. Darn it. Gotta stay in even longer. I said I would stay in longer. I stayed in 7 minutes. Not long enough. I think we have to just forget about trades that are coming up if we're in a trade that's working. I mean, let's be smart. Not be a dope. YM. Let's set up our setups because we want to watch the YM for a possible retest of the level. Click strategy. We have strategies already on the chart from gold. Magnet. We're going to make it a YM strategy. Position 1 is a 1. Target 1 is -3. Target 2 is 15. Position 2 is a 1. Okay. Position size 2 is a 1. The stop on the YM is 40. Label it YM magnet. YM magnet. And the YMs I do in my eval these mornings. Eval on YMs. Go all the way up. Alright. Position 1 is a 1. -3 default target. Position 2 is a 1. 15 target 2. Stop of 40. Alright. Everything else I'm leaving default. Label it YM magnet. Choose your account. Apply it. Then we have a reverse. We're going to get rid of our trap. We're not trading a trap on the magnet, on the YM open. Highlight the trap and remove it. Our YM reverse continue though. Label it YM reverse continue. It was a micro gold, remember? Choose the same account that you're trading. One account per chart. Our eval is for YM setups. And our YM reverse continue. I'm using one position with a 50 target and a 40 stop. That's my YM reverse continue. I'm applying it. And I'm adding the range trade. Remember, we have a YM range trade. Double click News Trader. I have a template for the YM open range. Either I'm going to trade magnets on the YM or I'm going to trade the YM open range. Why would I choose one over the other? If there's no magnet setups available, then I lean towards the range trade. So I find my setup, rename it for today's date. Rename it for today's date. Let's get it renamed. It's all goofed up in the naming. Today's date, 8/20. Load it and it saves it. Here's our YM setup. End the range at 9:30:00. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10. Target 2 is 20. Target 1 stop move is BE. I use a 25 stop to 35 on the YM. 35 today. Label it YM range open. Spelled correctly. Choose the account you're trading on. Eval. Apply it. Okay it. Our YM is ready. Turn on your magnet. Now, I think the YM is going to retest the low. It's almost an entry right here. Are you willing to enter right now by turning your magnet on? I am. I could be wrong, but I think we're going to get a test of that low. If it does it, I'm letting it. And I'll turn on my magnet, reverse continue. Make sure you're on the right chart, see? So you see your orders. The reverse continue. Not turning on the range yet. So let's see if we get our first target. If we do, we'll get a stop to break even. But let's also get our 925 MNQ trade set up. Our breakout, we have a breakout on the MNQ chart. I'm going to load my template. I'm watching my
order filled.
What the heck? Let me see what happened there. Okay, so it hit our first target and immediately reversed for a one target winner. Okay, so it gave us about a $45. It only gave us a 9-tick winner. Okay, reversed instantly on that. That's what happened. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. It hit the first target. I'm going to leave it alone for now. All right, leave it alone. Turn the orders off. All right, they're off. What happens is it turns off when it wins or loses. I like, if I have a winning trade on the magnet, I like to change something just to reset things. Okay. Now, maybe we'll get a pullback off the low on the YM. I'm not going long because we're down almost 500 points at the moment, not before the open. But I'd love to see a 50 tick pullback and maybe we can retest the low, or I'll trade the range. Okay, I'll trade the range. Back to the MNQ, we have a 925 strategy breakout. We had a breakout from the gold breakout, right? When we traded 9 a.m., we can modify that. But I'm going to load my template, pre-MNQ open. That's what we call it. Pre-MNQ new. Right click and rename. Today's the 20th. Load it. This is a breakout, 924.59. Bracket of 30. I'm going to set the time to 0 because we are going to check our bracket width. But the trigger time is 924.59. The bracket's 30. Positions 1, 2, and 3 are 1. It's a 3-position trade. Target 1 is 20. Target 2 is 35. Target 3 is 65. Target 1 stop move is BE for break even. Stop loss is 50. Label it pre-open MNQ. Make sure you're on the right account. I've been trading this in a funded account. I'll continue to trade my MNQs funded. Apply it. Now I'm going to modify my MNQ magnet, which was a gold magnet. Couple of contracts on position 1, a target of 100. Everything else is default except the name. Stop is 100, not target. Stop is 100. MNQ magnet. Choose the right account. All right. Apply it. And then our third setup is the reverse continue. Let's make sure that's set up. MNQ, reverse continue. Position 1 is 2 contracts. We'll do 100 on the target, 100 on the stop. We already labeled it, right? Make sure you're on the right account though. Everything's on the same account. Apply it. Okay, let's test our bracket, okay? Go to the breakout trade. Let's test our bracket. Let's make sure everything's in sim. Chart goes in sim. Spread the chart so we have a bracket that's manageable. Notice nothing's in sim. That means our software is on breakout. Go to strategies. I mean, it's on the accounts. Highlight the breakout. Go down to the software. Account. We're going to put it on sim. See why I wanted the YM. Darn it. Apply it. Okay. Make sure your chart trader's on sim. These markets are very negative this morning.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
Our brackets are a nice width. Now, do you want to outthink the market this morning? Do you want to let the market fill you long? Remember, one day this week we tried to outthink them. We didn't outthink the market, but we said we should have. I am not going to try to outthink the market, but I prefer a short fill because there's so much negativity. All right. You know, it's all about the Fed. It's all about interest rates. It's all about the debt. It's all about the U.S. economy. It's all about what's going on, the war. Big problems. 0024.59, right? Let's check our bracket. Turn on the pre-MNQ and sim.
Order submitted.
And it's a manageable
Order
bracket,
canceled.
right? Go back to the strategy, highlight it, the breakout, put the time back, 9:24:59. Put the chart account, setup account, back onto the account you're trading. Apply it, okay it, and put your chart trader on that account. We're now ready for our MNQ. Turn it on. MNQ. MNQ magnet. MNQ reverse continue. We have one more setup to add to our MNQ, the 9:30 open. All we're going to do is load that in. We're not going to check it. I'm going to load the template. We're getting close to 9:25. New MNQ, new open is what it's called. I'm just going to go over it quickly because we're getting near our open, pre-open. MNQ, new open. Where is it? There it is. Right click it, today's date. We do everything the same so that after a week you know what's going on. Load it. 9:29:59 is the setup time for activation. 30 bracket. 20 target 1, 100 target 2. VE on target 1 stop move. 125 on the stop. And everything goes in the same account. Now the idea is our apply and OK. Don't turn it on them, okay? Because we have our 9:25 trade first. The idea with the 9:25 trade is that you exit that trade before 9:30. If you're in a winning trade and you're trailing like crazy, don't exit the trade, okay? Keep making money. But if you're just in a nondescript trade that's chopping around, our testing showed exit and go on and trade your 9:30 open, okay? Then we do always try to check our bracket before the 9:30 opens. Now this morning, look how much upward movement we had, even though the markets are so negative. That's why we don't really try to outthink what might happen on this volatility. We could get filled in any direction, and it clearly shows the market could move in any direction. You've had large moves in all directions. I'm not jumping into a signal trade though, because I'm not convinced the YM is moving up at this moment in time. And it's before the open. Today I might trade the YM range trade, okay? Might trade the YM range trade. That might be the YM open trade. Here comes our orders. One more minute.
Order submitted.
Nope, right there, I'm sorry.
Order submitted.
I did not want a long fill. I don't mind telling you. Not thrilled. I'm not thrilled. I'd rather outthink the market if you get my
Order
drift.
filled.
Okay, we hit our first target. It's going to pull
Order
back.
filled.
Target 1, tiny winner. Okay, tiny winner, but at least not a loser. Turn off the pre-MNQ. I'm going to remove it. We don't need it anymore. And now I'm going to check the bracket quickly on my breakout at 9:30. Set the time to 0. 30 is the bracket. Targets of 20 and 100. I think I really want to go short only. Sim. But I'll let it trade. Put the chart trader on Sim. It was just stop issues. It's management sometimes. Maybe we will not move our stops until the second target on that 9:25 trade. Here's our breakout MNQ open in Sim.
Order submitted. Order
Okay, I'll spread
canceled.
the brackets a little bit wider. Turn it back on. Highlight the breakout. 9:29:59. Okay, 9:29:59. Put our account on the right account. Apply an OK. Put the chart trader on that account. Now the YM, we're far enough away from the low to retest the low if we high of day, low of day. I'll trade the magnet for a retest to the low on our YM. Turn on automatic. That's how I'm trading. Looking for a magnet retest. If I did not want to do that, I would turn off the magnet and turn on the range. See how the range is calculating on the RTY? It would do the same thing on the YM. But I think the YM is going to go back down and make a new low. Breakout MNQ, make sure you turn it on. Don't forget to turn it on. That really should be turned on first, but it's not, I'm not going to, you don't have time to press the adjust button. On the magnet, I'm going to turn my orders high of day, low of day on for possible high of day, low of day trade after the open. See, we could get down to the low. Now YM is nice and far away now from the low where it's far enough, not so far that we won't get a test. Crazy how that signal would have worked. Normally we would not take a signal though, so close to the open. But we see this happen a lot.
Traffic data,
We
tanker
see it
sailing
happen
under
a lot.
false flag, hijacked in Gulf of Aden,
You'd have to
and
do
redirected towards Somalia.
I haven't been doing them together in two different accounts. Nick. I haven't been. I just have too many setups going on. Generally, you should do
Somalia,
it.
there were headlines in the morning
I wouldn't
that you had from
do it in
UKTO
the same
about
account
6 o'clock in the
because it
morning.
could
The tanker
interfere,
was seized
right?
by armed men near Yemen and hijacked tankers steered towards Somalia. It's being picked up by marine traffic data again. One minute going down to get the mark on an open imbalance data.
Now, I am sticking around for natural gas, but I have to give everyone a heads up. I do have an appointment at the exact time as our natural gas trade, but they're always late, always. So I'm going to stay in the room, but it could happen they'll be early. It's happened rarely, but so just a heads up. I'm trading natural gas. I'll definitely set it up.
10 seconds.
But I might have to leave. Watching our setups
Order
here.
submitted. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
So a perfect short on our RTY
buy side
and a
12.6 million, Dow 30 sell side
3
49
contract
million,
winner
buy side 1.2
on
million.
our MNQ. Okay, 3 contract winner, but it pulled back. If you notice, it went long. Now the YM didn't fill. Okay, not our test of the low. The markets have pulled off the low. All right. Did anyone trade the YM range? I'm guessing it would have worked. It would have worked. Now, would you test the MNQ low here with a magnet? I probably would. Most mornings it works.
Seeing US listed shares of Alibaba falling 5% after Q1 results.
I probably would. So I'll turn my magnet on. And I'll still let the YM test the low if it wants to. If it gets there and it goes with some momentum, we should get a test of the low. I think there's an opportunity that it might work. It is our eval, all right? It's in the eval. Now you can get rid of your.
Submitted.
Okay, there. Now look, it might screw us up.
8% as the board adopts recommendations to enhance export compliance program.
It's a 40 tick stop. S2, is not a great. Doesn't make that much of a difference
drops 5.3%
in the stop.
biggest fall since May 15th.
It's going to get us, is it? It
Walmart shares down
almost hit
8%
the
after
target
Q2
just by a
comparable sales
tick or
miss.
two. Just by a tick or two. It's going to get me. I'm just making my stop a little bigger, see if we could survive. I think it's going down. I think it's going down. If it gives me another opportunity, I'll take it. The NQ, unfortunately, is going up. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. Now, the YM,
Walmart sinks 8.7%
I'll
in the
show you
biggest one-day
something
decline
crazy.
since
This
July
is an eval.
2022.
If it takes me out, life is not over. Okay? It's not my funded account. My YMs, because the YM's been harder the past couple of weeks than using an eval, not a funded.
Order filled.
So it got me. I had an opportunity if I didn't wait for the trade to do what the trade normally does. Now, you know, the markets are down pretty negatively. They're pretty negatively down. What I'll do with this eval is I'll probably save it for natural gas. Save it for natural gas. See if we can save this eval. This eval's on the verge of death. Truly on the verge of death. It might be dead now. I have to check. I'm thinking it's dead. I think this eval's dead. On the MNQ, we hit our first target where I had more contracts. So it was a small winner. All right. MNQ small winner. RTY perfect winner on the range. That worked fine. Dead account walking. Yeah, it is a dead account walking. It gets frustrating. You know, it is frustrating because when you're managing 5 different setups all at once, you know, maybe I would have gotten out by being super babyish. Not babyish, but what's the word? Super conservative. It did go positive, but it didn't even hit the first target. So, I mean, you're supposed to let your trades work. You don't know that all of a sudden the market change and do a gap fill, right? I mean, is it going to do a gap fill all the way up there? I don't think so, but you've got a very bullish market now. It's very bullish. You know, you could do a VWAP magnet test here. I don't know if I can trade this eval anymore. How do you test? So I could put an order way up out of the way, sell,
Order submitted.
and I can still trade this account
Order
because I can
canceled.
put an order on. It's still quite bullish. Look at the darn signal. If you traded that signal before the open, which we normally don't do, honestly, it was a great signal. It was a great signal. Now, there was an RTY signal after the open. Again, it's not easy to take signals when the market is strongly bearish like that, although we see all the time on the opens changes in direction. It's probably easier to take signals on the open, right? Because you see these dramatic changes in direction more so than you see at a quieter trading time. We do have a webinar with Ninja this
Crypto
morning.
stocks
Here
advance
is
as
the link
Bitcoin rises. Coinbase Global at
for anyone that wants
5.7%.
to come.
Strategy at 5.7%.
It's a 4:30 p.m. webinar. Did I say this morning? 4:30 p.m. webinar. Now, you don't have a signal that generates on the NQ because we didn't test any level that would generate a signal. VWAP or high of day, low of day. You can get rid of your breakout MNQ setup. We're done with it. We didn't use our YM range. You can get rid of that. You certainly don't want to turn it on now. It would trigger. And our RTY range is over. All right. That should be gone. YM range. I erased the RTY. The YM range is gone. So now I am not going to scalp on my funded account where the RTY is. So if we're going to watch signals though, RTY I'll turn off and put on my eval, although like we said, my eval is on the verge of death. I think a tiny losing trade will finish that account. RTY looks like it's going to go back down and test the low, doesn't it? Don't forget, if you change your account, that you change on your chart trader. The MNQ is kind of chopping around now in the middle there. All right, just watching the YM. It did not test the VWAP. Momentum right now is pushing down. Price action is, it's not doing a whole heck of a lot. RTY momentum changed on a dime there, right? It looked like it was going to test the low, and then momentum did change. So look, it's the open. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. It looks like maybe our lows are in for a little while anyway. That maybe we're not going to retest and break the low. All right. Now, what I might do is we have a 10 o'clock natural gas. I'm not seeing great opportunities here. I'm really just seeing a lot of risk. A lot of risk. Now, Walmart had their earnings, which brings up a rant. You know what all the companies are doing? All the food stores, most of them. If you check the weight of everything you buy, they're ripping you off. All the weights on the meat, on the cheese, on the products that are prepackaged, the weights are fraudulent. So in other words, if you look at a bag of sugar and it says 2 pounds of powdered sugar, it's underweight. Underweight by more than the FDA allows. The companies, when they do a price reduction, there's a guy online who does these great videos. He got famous by going to Walmart and weighing their meats over and over and over. Every Walmart he went to, almost every Walmart, underweight by pounds, not by an ounce or two. 2-3 pounds of ham, sometimes a pound light. Now what they're doing is, you know how they put a reduced sticker on the package, like if meat's been there a little bit longer? They also put a price per pound on that new sticker. If you calculate the new price with the pounds, they're not correct. They're overcharging, not by small amounts. Over and over and over. Most of the stores he goes to. His recent video was Dollar General, Walmart's, Kroger's. It's mind-boggling how much they are stealing. So what that means, those are class action suits. They turn into class action lawsuits. That's what will happen. You'll start to see a whole bunch of class action lawsuits against the food companies. That's what you'll start to see. Very unfair. He brings his own scale. He brings a weight. He shows you a real weight. He has no reason to make this up. There's no reason to make it up. It's pretty outrageous stuff. That's my rant. I'm too drained to even get angry anymore. It's impossible because everywhere you turn, they're screwing us. Everywhere you turn, it's really frustrating. Watching that RTY signal looks like it would have not been nice. It is a filter 2. My YM is a filter 1. If we would have filtered 2 here, let's see if that signal would have been valid. That's what I thought. I thought it might not be valid. Filter 2 is much more strict. Much more strict. The beauty of the new feature, though, is you can quickly check. If you get a signal, you can check, well, what would it be if my filtering was more strict? And in 1 second, you can check. And that helps you to make a decision whether or not you want to take a signal trade. This was, remember on a signal trade, let's say you're a signal trade is always a reversal trade. Always. No, I shouldn't say that. Off of the VWAP, it might not. It could be a continuation. Off the high of day, low of day, it's always a reversal. The stop is below the level you're reversing from, right? That's our rule. So let's say you're reversing off the low of day. That's the low of day. The stop has to be below it. Not 1 tick, not 2 ticks. 15-ish ticks, 10 to 15-ish on the market open. You don't want your stop where everybody and his brother has the stop right at the low, 1 tick above or below the low. You want it further away so you survive a small touch of the level. You want to get stopped if it breaks the level, not if it touches it, okay? I'm just watching to see if there's any great opportunity. We may just take a break, 15 minutes for natural gas. That's what I'm leaning. That's what I'm leaning. All right, I want to thank everyone on YouTube. I'm going to close out our YouTube stream. There's a link for our webinar today, 4:30 with Ninja. Join us, and we'll be streaming tomorrow morning. So I'll see everybody later on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, hit all the buttons, and we'll see you tomorrow.